Imagine living in a world where the only person who was allowed to vote was a white man. There were no blacks, no Asians, and no women. The women intended to do something about that. The Constitution said that all people were created equal. The women tried to seek that right by setting up conventions and protests all across the country to try to grant them their right to vote. The leaders of this operation were Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony. They helped set up the first Seneca Falls Convention in 1848. Here, women suffragists are leaving Newark, New Jersey on a long walk to Washington, D.C. They are dressed preparedly for the long walk. The streets are crowded as people try to catch a glimpse of the suffragettes. There are mounted policemen to protect the women. There are also male supporters of this cause too, as thousands of males walk down the street on their way to Washington, D.C. In 1848, in Seneca Falls, New York, the first Seneca Falls Convention for Women's Rights was held. This was the first time that women ever stated their case that they deserved the right to vote. This event was designed by Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. There were protests, speeches, and there were plays. After the convention, the women made protest signs because no one wanted them to vote still. Soon they made posters. This one says all the good things that a woman may have been does not have the vote, but all the bad things that a man have been and yet had the vote. This one says no vote, no tax. This one is a headquarters in Ohio to try to promote women's suffrage. Here's a video of a women's rights protest. The women here are posing for a picture. The women marched with signs saying that they wanted their rights. They made booths where they would vote on the new amendment. Even in the states such as California, they protested for the eastern states to have women's suffrage. Soon they started to have the Votes for Women logo on their clothing and attire. Here you see a group of uniformed girls holding a sign that says a fearless, indomitable womanhood, a fearless, indomitable race. Here are women after they have finally received their right to vote and they are in the voting booth. Some women did not know how to vote, so they had to hold learn to vote sessions. This map shows states. All the orange states are the states that gained passage of the right to vote with the 19th Amendment.